ESPN's Wide World of Sports at the Walt Disney World Resort, home today to a national champion. As we look to see who will win the 16 Open Final between OT 16 S. Roberto and Asics Munciana Ninjas. To close down the 45th AAU Girls Junior National Volleyball Championships, a long path to reach this final. Here's how these teams landed in the action today. Hi, I'm Nolan Alexander, joined today by the former UCF All-Conference outside hitter Aaron Campbell. And Aaron, for those that follow AAU volleyball, the teams we're about to see, no strangers, a couple of powerhouses.
Yeah, and what I love about this is they always say you save the best for last, and we certainly have. The 16s are really the first year that the girls are in the heavy recruiting year, so they play a lot more competitively. It's the year they kind of understand their roles a little bit better on the team, and so it's just going to be a really fun, gritty match.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the rosters, and we'll start out with the Ninjas.
And a lot of really good players on this team. You have number 4, MJ Hamill, going off to Wisconsin. Yes, she's already committed there. And then Almodovar going to Dayton. Both really big powerhouses for this Munciana Ninja team.
Flip it over. Here's the lineup for OT.
And stacked with commitments, this OT roster. UCF, FSU, Florida, Auburn, Mizzou, Rice, Arkansas, FSU, a lot of big schools. Keep an eye out for number 14, Taylor Head. Sierra Jenkins is going to dish out probably one of the best offenses you'll see today. And then look for the libero, number 3, McKissick, leading that backcourt.
Two coaches well known within their respective programs, going for a national title coming up next at the HP Fieldhouse. Welcome into ESPN's Wide World of Sports at the HP Fieldhouse. Here are the rules today. A best of 3 playing to 25, and you got to win by 2. As typical, and should we reach that third and final set, it's a sprint to 15. Champions Court here at the HP Fieldhouse, as this concludes 3 different venues that have housed the 45th AAU Girls Junior National Volleyball Championships, the Orange County Convention Center, the Visa Center, and here, the HP Fieldhouse. Over 30,000 different participants. Nearly 3,000 teams. Way too many courts to count. And you get to watch the 16s go at it today. And the squad from Indiana and Florida. And here we go, underway with the 16 Open Final. Already have our first point, and the block party starting early right at the 5 o'clock hour with OT grabbing our first point of the match.
And Verthi reading that block. A lot of times first plays go to that outside. They want to get a feel for how the match is going. Great block setup.
Munciana to the left of your screen in the all-whites. Well, OT is taking a 2-0 lead to your right in the blues.
And that's what I love about Sierra Jenkins. I've had the pleasure of watching her at the high school level too, and what she's so good at is she's so good at reading what the opponent's doing that she makes heads-up plays like that, and it's just about scoring points, and that's why she is so good.
3-0 OT.
And I was thinking about it today. You've asked me a lot of times, like, what is the biggest difference between like the 12s and then the more experienced girls? And I really think it's all about setting choices. And Sierra Jenkins is certainly one of those people that has developed the understanding of making good setting choices for her team and leads them in so many ways other than setting, as you can see with the serves.
And I'm sure that's something that just grows with the hours and hours you put into practice, tournaments, and of course quality experience here with a championship on the line. And the first points for Asics Munciana.
And big swing by Tinkle. She just goes right down that line. McKissick is there at that sideline, just has to make that read.
Right up the gut, Marika Verth.
And Coach Berto or Coach Santa Sofia is so good about understanding the setting game, and I love that he's the one that's coaching Sierra Jenkins in this match.
Biggest throwdown we've seen in the early goings for Asics Munciana. Another look.
Shaftmaster just unloading in that deep seam. Again, McKissick's one of the better liberos, and that just beats her really, really fast.
Dug out by Hamill. 2 in a row for the Ninjas. Maggie Castleman rallying back for the Ninjas here in the first set.
And anytime you have someone that's that comfortable on the right side, you can't give away that much line, because it's just, that's the shot that they want, especially as a right-handed attacker on the right-hand side of the ball.
The rotation brings up the libero to serve.
Oh, great dig by Jenkins. Great swing.
That's Head with the dig.
Oh, great shot by Shaftmaster deep into that court. Long, long rally. As that happens, you notice teams get sucked in more on that defense. They don't have as much discipline getting to their drop or their defensive position. So the deeper shot and the longer rally is the way to go.
There's Roberto Santa Sofia. You said, Aaron, a familiar name within OT. Haley Franks to serve.
That's just a great force out of bounds. You have Audrey Douglas, the future Auburn Tiger, one of the bigger players on the court. She has developed so much in her athleticism. Again, I've been able to watch her through her high school career. So she has really, really developed into a phenomenal middle and phenomenal athlete. And if the iron is hot, give it back to her. Castleman is swinging heavy on that right side. Good battles. Looks like Duran still hasn't made that hitting adjustment or that blocking adjustment to get in front of it.
Duran up to serve. She's off to Mizzou in a few years.
Just a good high swing against a big block. Almodovar going really high against a big, big block. The smaller the outside hitters, the trickier they have to be, and they've developed an arsenal of those shots that are going to kind of be their go-to when they need a bailout, if the set's too tight, things like that.
Another point for the Ninjas. We're tied at 9.
And so far, the speed for Munciana, which is very typical of their club, has really kind of gotten them back into this match. They started off a little bit slow, but now that they have that tempo down, they're pretty lethal.
And a great kill from Audrey Douglas.
Great set placement, allows Douglas to choose whatever she wants. She sees the line open, stays with her body and her shoulders, square to the net, and swings down that line.
11 now for OT 16 as we play to 25 here in the first set of the 16 Open Final from ESPN's Wide World of Sports, the Walt Disney World Resort. 3 in a row with a denial of the net.
And a huge block by Verth and Taylor Head. Head's right on time with that swing. She set that block up perfectly. Bounced right back across the net.
Both of these teams doing a very solid job in the early goings. Excellent kill placement right down the edge of the lines.
Yeah, and it's good bait. So you have number 4, Madison Hamill, in the front row setting, and she's just forcing the blockers to take the bait.
And OT comes right back. Taylor Head, the future Arkansas Razorback. A look at Randy Gardner, 5th year with this age group for the Ninjas.
And first ball kill for Munciana when they get that good pass is all about speed. They are doing such a good job of just getting those first ball kills. As long as the pass is there, they can run that tempo. And so far, OT hasn't had a response to it defensively.
4 kills for Tinkle. Head serve.
So it's little things that really good setters do. If you watch Madison Hamill, she's juking the front row block. Even though she is back row, she's making them hesitate just a smidge with her jump set.
And the Ninjas cut it down to 2.
We haven't seen much of Duran, so I'm happy to see that really heavy, powerful swing against a really good defensive team in Munciana. Passing needs to get there so they can free up some middle opportunities and allow those pin players to have some more seams to hit through.
And the run continues for OT. And a timeout on the floor by Munciana. Let's listen into the huddle.
Can't dig ourselves in a hole like that. We got to take care of the ball from the start. Got yourself in a 5-1 deficit. You've been up since then. You're only down 4. Got to stick a pass. We were here earlier with Kiva. Got to stick the first contact. We got to need some energy. I need you to lead this team. We've been talking about a KD. Make sure you bring it home. Pass the ball. Take care of the rock. Do what we do. Let's go. Take care of it.
Coach Gardner urging leadership from Mabry, Schaffmaster.
Yeah, and what's cool is that everybody on the team kind of has their role, especially when you look at setters. You want them to be really even-keeled. Outside attackers, you want them to be that emotional force behind your team, so you have to have somebody pick that up. It's hard as an outside hitter if you're getting shut down like Schaffmaster has on those last 2 plays. It's kind of hard to understand how you lead emotionally when you kind of take that inside a little bit. It's a little bit frustrating that you're constantly getting blocked. So how will she respond to get the emotion back up?
3 blocks for OT. Munciana is still aiming for its first.
And one thing in talking with Randy Gardner, the coach for Munciana Ninjas before the match, is he said, we're playing a lot of street ball. Yes, we have good ball control, but we are really, really scrappy, and we just keep the ball off the floor. And he's right. They took an early setback, and they've hung in there, but here comes the momentum for OT. Last really big emotional points. Blocks are big attacks like that are always a super
needed that
emotional
one in slow
changer.
motion
Oh, yeah.
for Douglas.
Such a game changer. Those big, heavy points. And just like that, Munciana answers with that middle. Great attack from Dunsmore. Need to keep her activated in this set.
Conway to serve. They get it over.
Great setting choice, though. Just a little bit too low for the middle attack, but if you notice, everybody on OT wasn't in their base position, so the setting choice is right. The next time that play comes around, they'll have that tempo figured out.
And a timeout on the floor.
I think they already have the microphone over there because the last time they called timeout, I said they don't use the middle, they use the middle twice. Okay, but again, I'm not gonna put that much like on the middle. So we stick with the outside, leave the middle one-on-one, I don't care, but we still double on the outside and the right side, okay? Hey, as long as you keep telling the setter, listen, as long as you keep telling the setter, I'm here, she's not gonna dump anymore, let's go.
Why is that communication important for the setter?
It's so important because it lets her know that she doesn't have the dump as an option. So she cannot dump on the ball when she's in the front row, go over on that second contact because she knows McKissick's going to be there. But one thing that I want to point out is when Coach Berto was talking, he was saying middles aren't going to beat you. They're going to score points. Outsides will beat you because if you look at the spread volume of the sets that go out to the pins versus the sets that go to the middle, the ratio is maybe 5-to-1 go to the middle. So you have to make sure that you're doing your job and blocking the outsides because just how much volume they get. And so I love that he was pointing out, let's just leave that middle one-on-one and really focus on blocking the outsides.
Another block for OT.
And good battle win. Way to stay composed on the OT side. This is a great transition point, but middle, number 7, Dunsmore, just didn't see the block in front of her.
Great job by the libero, Vincent.
And great rally. Sierra Jenkins actually blocked number 6 one-on-one, but the shot overwhelms them, and I expect to kind of see Munciana pick and choose what they're going to swing on now. They maybe need to start incorporating some of those roll shots to see where the seams are in the court. Try to go a little bit deeper on this OT team because they play a bit tight.
Two in a row for the Ninjas.
And that's why Sierra Jenkins is so good. She doesn't force the set on that play. She recognizes she's front row. She doesn't have a lot of options. She can't save the ball. So all she wants to do is just poke it into a seam in the court where no one's going to be, or it's going to force her opponent out of bounds.
Set point for OT. And the future Dayton Flyer, Alexi Almodovar with a serve. That'll do it. Set one is in the books as OT emerges 25-18 and moves one step closer to a 16 Open national title here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. Set two coming up next from the HP Fieldhouse.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex at Florida's Walt Disney World Resort is your amateur basketball destination. Offering multiple tournaments for athletes from youth to collegiate level that attracts NCAA coaches from top programs nationwide. To find out how your team can compete here, visit DisneyBasketball.com. The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex is a cutting-edge multi-sport facility.
Leads the way for Godin! To the 10, 5, touchdown USA!
Athletes from over 70 countries compete in more than 60 different sports, all at the center of the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida.
Blocked at the net, and there it is.
Our returning champion has done it again.
For more information, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
Hey, ready?
Ready.
Ready? Vamos. Habla más.
Darla. Ready? Ready.
The Junior NBA World Championship. 32 elite boys and girls teams from around the globe will compete
for a chance to be named Junior NBA World Champions.
The Junior NBA World Championship. Get ready.
Ready on three. In, on, set, ready.
Claims set one in the 16 Open final. A couple of stars have made their way on the floor. For the Ninjas of Asics Munciana, saw a good look at the leadership for number 9, Mabry Schaffmaster.
And Reagan Tinkle was another one of those players on this court that just led the offense. They got her activated as soon as possible in this match. On the slide, she hasn't run that one tempo at all, so I expect them to maybe force that with her. But I love that they're spreading her in the wave in that 32.
Marika Verth on the other side.
And Verth,
dominant.
Yeah, super emotional leader with her blocking, and that's such a powerful thing to have. Then they can go to her in transition. Great connection between her and Sierra Jenkins in the front row.
Here's a look at the stats after the first set. See exactly how it was broken down.
And so far, Munciana has led in the kill category and the defensive category, but they had some unforced errors early on in that set, and since that point, they were really even with OT. So let's see how they respond in the second set. Will they have that same kind of slowness? And if they don't, how will OT respond if they come out on fire?
Again, playing at 25 here in the second set. In the best of 3, should OT prevail, it's your 16 Open national champions. While Munciana, as the teams have switched sides, trying to force that third set. So Munciana on the right of your screen in the whites. OT to your left in the blues. And this Asics Munciana team hasn't lost a match here in tournament play. Only just a handful of sets they've dropped at the ESPN Wide World of Sports in the Orange County Convention Center.
And don't forget, this matchup is a rematch of last year's 16 Open match. So I love to see that two powerhouse teams kind of dominate the 16s, again, because it's such a heavy recruiting year, and it's just such a good year for the girls to win a championship.
We've mentioned some of these college commitments on both sides. I'm sure there's a few more that we haven't gotten to just yet, but how much more prevalent is it becoming in the sport to see these commitments earlier and earlier on?
Yeah, and I was talking with assistant coach for OT, Josh Hebron, and we were just talking about kind of how it's crazy that sometimes 8th graders are even committing to schools. And what they've done, the NCAA is trying to put a stop to all of that. So they've put in some more regulations for how you can recruit volleyball players. It's not until their 16 year, September 1st of the 16 year, that a college can actually talk to you in a text, in a phone call. They can only send letters of interest prior to that. So the NCAA has done a good job to kind of help regulate that, but it still happens, right? You still have players that want to commit early and then be able to just kind of play free after that.
Know where you want to go to college before you pass algebra.
There you go, right? It's crazy.
And another point for OT. Started out with a pair of aces in succession as Taylor Head looks to serve.
Oh, great save. Awesome save by Hamill. She could have done the dump in that situation. Actually, no, she's back row, so she couldn't have done any dump. Had to keep that ball on her side of the net. Great save for a good setup on that attack.
And she's off to Wisconsin in a couple of seasons.
Just missed that back line. Just didn't have the connection that she wanted. Sailed it a little bit too long.
Vincent, the Ninjas libero with the serve. Sydney Conley, outside hitter, future Florida State Seminole with a good look there.
And first time we've really called her name. And I asked actually Josh Hebron before the match, are any of these girls playing beach at these big Florida schools? And they're all indoor. So give a lot of credit to these players and athletes. These are some pretty prestigious programs they're moving on to.
Schaffmaster serve.
And that's a really, really heavy serve. So great pass. Sarah Jenkins was able to help get Douglas in. And if you watch the middle block, see they had to take the bait and stay with Douglas. And that just freed up a 2-inch, 3-inch seam in the block and allowed Duran to unload.
Haley Frank, also to Florida State in a couple of years. And here comes Asics Munciana.
And as we get into the more elite programs, obviously this is kind of that point where they make that switch to elite at this age group. The one thing you notice is that the rallies go on longer because the players are better, and the rallies only end because of errors. It's a game of errors, but this is really the first time you see that actually happening because everybody's elite.
What fundamentals become the most important during a rally?
It's all about serve and pass, and it's all about getting to your defensive point and back to your base, because if you don't do that, you're susceptible to tips and roll shots. But it's all about serving and passing and ball control. That's the core, that's the foundation of the house in volleyball. And then you get points like this where you get a big block on an awesome attacker, and that only just adds more momentum to your side of the net.
A block, 3 kills for Almodovar. And OT ties us at 7 with her 4th kill for Duran.
And you hate to see plays like that end in an error because it's just such a good rally. When you're taking a swing off of a really high ball and you're not used to it like a libero, you have to think more defensively. Okay, I just want to get this ball over the net into a zone that I know is going to throw my team out of system.
Jalen Dunsmore up to serve.
We've seen a lot of service errors today. I think the fatigue is finally starting to set in a little bit, losing a little bit of focus at that service line.
Because these teams, this is not the first action that they have seen today. This is the end of a long run in bracket play. And back-to-back errors handed out between the squads. You can see the discrepancy, 6 total. What a dig.
Oh, you hate to see that. Such a good dig by Almodovar. She keeps that ball alive, sits underneath it. Try to make something with it. Just keep it simple. Just put the ball over the net.
There you go, ball over that. That's what happens sometimes.
And those jousts at the net, they can kind of be disorienting if you're a middle, because you're trying to look for the ball, you're trying to look at where your relationship is with the net. There's a lot that happens when that ball's super tight to the net.
5th kill for Tinkle.
Oh, wow. There she is again. At the net in the middle.
3rd block. Marika Verth.
Good setup. Reagan Tinkle wanted to go down the line on that. Good matchup, though, on the blocking side of the ball. Tried to force her to be a little bit uncomfortable, tried to force her down that line. Not enough to play with. Hits the ball in the net. And a heavy, heavy swing by Duran. She hit that ball nice and high, took advantage of the seam in the block, and ball trickled down right in front of the blocker.
Keep serving aggressive. That's it. You got it, Josh.
Just taking it one at a time. We got into a little funk where we're just playing a little too fast. Deep breath. We just need the one, guys.
We got it.
It's all about one.
Let's go.
It's all about the one.
Come on. Hey! OT on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Come on. Come on, Marika.
Josh, go straight to the arrow.
Yeah, don't worry about the slide. But take care of the middle in front of the setter first on the good pass. Hey, on the good pass, the middle in front of the setter. She's hitting right there in between the 1 and 6. So after you serve, go to your base there. Be ready.
There you go, X marks the spot.
And I love the dynamic of Coach Berto and Coach Josh Hebron, because they kind of, it's a very collegiate style. One kind of focused on one part of the game, the other focuses on another, and that's why the dynamic works. One's more defensive-minded, one is more offensive-minded, front row, back row, so they just have a good dynamic and they share that responsibility.
Another point for OT as it continues separation in search of a sweep.
And you can see both super activated and telling each player different things that they're noticing on the court. Great dig by McKissick.
Unloading once more, Duran.
And OT relying on that block to give them that space for separation. Then the offense follows. We noticed that in the first set too. Once the blocking was established, then that was the momentum changer for their offense, and we're certainly seeing that into the second set.
Duran's up to 7 kills. But now Asics Munciana wants to mount a rally.
And they're going to rely a lot on number 9, Shaftmaster. They're going to move her all along the net. She is in the front row right now. But a much-needed point results in a momentum-killing service error.
That's not the first time that's happened to the Ninjas.
And they have so many so far. How do you compete when your opponent only has 1 service error and you're tallying 6 at this point? And it's out-of-system play that really controls who's going to win the set. So out-of-system is when the ball isn't pass perfectly to the setter and there's only one option. How you handle that situation is really what separates good and great teams.
Got to be ready to come inside, man. Too many 4 balls, too many 4 balls. There's kicking outside. That you guys not working. You got to come inside. A challenge. You come in the 2, we score all day long. But you got to fight right now. Doesn't mean this can't be over. Push now. Side out ball. Get your arms out, passers. Extend it away and pass the rock. Come on, fight.
He says to come inside. What does he mean by coming inside?
So he wants, so the outside attack always should try to be out to the pin or the antenna. So what you want to do is you want to mix up how the defense is seeing your point of attack by shifting where the set is along the net. So come inside for a 32 or a 2. Just mix up where you're attacking from so that the defense doesn't camp on you.
And a violation makes it an 8-point lead for OT. McKissick, the future Florida Gator, with the serve. And the second service error for OT.
You definitely don't want to give a free ball to Munciana because they show you what they can do with it. Great swing by Castleman on the right side. She was really critical to the comeback. Even though they didn't win that first set, they relied on her shoulder on that right-hand side. So the pass has to be there for them to give him that ball. And back-to-back really good serves from Schaffmaster have certainly helped them narrow the gap.
She picks up the ace. 2 for each team.
And just like that, another stat, another kill for Castleman on the right side.
3 points in a row for the Ninjas. Here's the latest. And OT wants to take a timeout. Let's see the latest insight from the huddle.
It's tied up. Push right now, let's sell out. All we need to do is get a good serve. Know their options, make sure we're up on 2 on 5. Let's go. Hey, come out of the timeout talking. Let's go.
Coach Gardner starting that by saying it's tied up. He seems to go along with it. You said before, short-term memory, just trying to breaking this game down. Instead of the full 25 points, just little runs.
Yeah, and you want to just kind of be first to 5, first to 10, 15, 20. But if you're behind, it's all about just putting strings of points together. 1 point at a time, let your defense do its thing. Keep that serve.
And another point for the Ninjas.
And just like that, it's a 3-point match. It's a 3-point set. Schaffmaster's been serving really tough at that end line, so she just needs to keep that up a little bit, forcing that OT team out of system.
Leandra Duran with a thunderous throwdown.
And it's not often that setters, when they get a perfect pass, that they automatically want to go to the outside. And so Munciana was expecting that that ball would go to Audrey Douglas. So great pull by her, forces the ball outside for Sierra Jenkins, and Duran can just really whip that arm swing around the ball.
Now last kill, her 8th. Coach Santa Sofia and OT 4 points away from a 16 Open National Championship.
And that is an awesome setting choice by Hamill. If you saw every single triple blocker that was in there went for the 1 and the 2. Watch this play as it develops. There's the one, and there's the second one. Everybody bit on that first attack, leaving that second shot wide open.
6 kills for Almodovar. Back down to a 3-point lead for OT.
So OT wants to talk about it. They think there was a touch. Ball stays on the Munciana side. No change in the call.
Conway serve. Violation has cut it to 2.
Just couldn't save the body, so it's all about body control, especially on that slide, and that all comes from the core. But there's the quiet contender, Sierra Jenkins. She's really a leader by example. She's not probably the most vocal person on the court, but she leads by her hard work and her ability to just dish out amazing sets.
And every team needs that.
Yeah.
Needs that type of leader.
Yeah, especially one that, think about it as a quarterback. If your quarterback is super, super emotional, everybody kind of rides on that same emotion. So because Sierra Jenkins is the quarterback of this team and she's super even-keeled, they rely on her to kind of be the core of everybody. And there's a rare smile from her. She's usually very, very stoic on the court.
There you go, screenshot it.
This is a great rotation, though, for Munciana when it comes to blocking and offense. They have number 9, Schaffmaster, in the front row, Tinkle, and their setter, Hamill, in the front row. Apologies, sorry, they have Almodovar on the left-hand side, not Schaffmaster.
Dunsmore serve. Championship point for OT. Emily Lawrence, who's committed to UCF, into serve. OT, your 16 Open national champions. The final point. And a celebration is on. Aaron, great volleyball today and throughout this tournament for both of these teams.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch a match like that to kind of close it out. These girls always have so much passion when they play, and it's so much fun to watch. Awesome rally by both teams. I really thought Munciana was going to sneak back in and make this an interesting match, and they certainly did in the second set. So good job to both sides. It's a long tournament, long day, but kudos to OT 16 S. Roberto.
Duran, dynamite today.
Really all over the court. I mean, anytime that they really needed her, she was there. She did an awesome job of mixing up where she was attacking the ball from. So 32s, 2s, 4s. She really wanted to make sure that the defense didn't get too settled in or too narrowed in on her, because she knew she had to kind of be the front row leader for this team, and she did a fantastic job at that.
They're dancing, they're smiling. OT is your national champion with a 16 Open. A look at the final stats from today's 2-set match.
And really, really evenly matched, but dominating the net was OT 16. They had 6 blocks to Munciana's 1. It's hard to get an offense going when you have somebody that's so powerful at the net. Look at the service errors, 6 for Munciana, only 3 for OT 16 Roberto, so they really focused back on that service line. Good defense for Munciana, but it just wasn't enough to counterbalance the awesome blocking and the attacking for OT 16.
The champions celebrate. OT 16, Roberto claims the 16 Open National Championship. There's a hug from Mom. Give her a kiss, too. MVP with a real MVP. On behalf of our entire ESPN production crew, my partner Aaron Campbell, I'm Nolan Alexander. Thanks for joining us for the 45th AAU Girls Junior National Volleyball Championships. OT, the 16 Open National Champions.